Dan here, DD Speed Shop. My hair's looking good today. For some reason, you guys really enjoy watching me suffer. And today we got all sorts of stuff planned, and you seem to like watch me suffer, moving stuff around and all that. So, instead of omitting all that fine content, oh, look at the fiberglass. I'm gonna put this in here. So today we have a pile of stuff to get done, and none of it involves the Camaro. Now here's my thought, whoop, in frame, rule of thirds, I'm all over it. I've been working on this thing a lot, and I was excited to get back to it, and I am. Here's the problem, it needs body work. I hate body work, so any excuse not to do body work, I'm taking it. I've ordered a bunch of parts for this thing. They're currently in shipping. I've ordered paint for it. It's also being shipped. So we'd end up in a point where I have to literally just do feather on some body work. I mean, I'm gonna spend one long day, maybe 2 days on it, and it's gonna be ready for paint. So if I do all that, then it's gonna go in the back burner, and then I'm waiting on parts. So instead, we're gonna immediately switch gears. Real shocker here, little DD Speed Shop. Now, we have a few things to get taken care of. Oh, the door's heavy. I have to put on a different set of overload springs on the tow truck that I bought. The springs, not the truck. I've had the truck for a while. This thing hasn't run in a while, so we'll go ahead and fire it up. Gentle. Let that warm up. Now, that has to move. Oh, the exposure's terrible. 57 has to move because this has to come out. I do want to work on that truck in this garage. The other thing is we're getting a pile of snow and cold starting tomorrow. March, love it. This is the good garage, it's the warm garage. It's the garage I want to work in. Here's what we're going to work on. This thing's been sitting around for a little bit, collecting parts, you know, kind of all that sort of deal. 57 Ratty hardtop is going to be the focus of this video. And the real reason is you guys. So I'm always amazed that you guys watch these videos and subscribe and comment and ultimately just tires. I got these. I got a brand new guy wanted half price. Squirrel. You know, when you guys watch, and I appreciate it. I know I say it every video and maybe it gets kind of watered down, but I really do appreciate it because ultimately without you guys watching and subscribing and leaving comments and all that, I'd be in this garage still with a car maybe, you know, all that sort of stuff. So it's amazing. And further to that, some of you weirdos send us stuff, and John, we opened it on Danny's channel, but he ever so kindly, generously donated some Tri-5 parts. I think he said it was off actually a 210 that had been damaged, and he had sitting on the shelf for years, a bunch of these parts, and thought, you know what, I'm not going to use them, maybe this guy can, and that is Hot Rodding 101, and I will say, I try and do that. If I have something that I don't really need, I do try and pass it on to the next guy, because karma, what goes around comes around, good and bad. This is a good one. So he had the side trim here. This bit here is going to be the trim that goes down there and kind of holds the window. Flappers, whatever you want to call them. They go up in here. This is the other side. Inside bits, like just stuff that's like gold to me, and it was not junk, but definitely not used to someone else. So I appreciate the hell out of that. It is an absolute disaster in here. I had the Bobcat in warming up because we're gonna need this tomorrow for snow. And then outside, we have to move. So Camaro out, 57 in. Before 57 goes in, springs on tow truck. How's the exposure gonna be? Oh, not bad, not bad. Terrible, white truck. Look at all the snow we have, and we're getting more. This thing is now done, roadworthy, but needs a little bit of love. I had to, I want to do an oil change to it. I got to get the stuff, but it needs like a 50-50 mix of oil and Lucas. A lot of you guys in the comments just change the bearings. I hear ya. I'm lazy, and if I can get away with doing a thick oil change on it, we'll carry on. Carburetor needs a little bit of work, so I think that might just come in here. But of course, it has to first run and move. So that's the plan. We're gonna do a little schmozzle switching around. I'd like to get the truck kind of dialed together, maybe get that done today or tomorrow before the snow flies. Get the Camaro in here to storage, truck can sit outside, and this one will be in the good garage. This thing is yet to be in the fancy garage. And honestly, I'm not against working in here. But the cold and the snow sucks in this garage. So we're gonna go ahead and move it around. Step one, clean up the other garage and we'll start moving stuff. Okay, so these are the Super Springs, and they were twice as heavy, twice as costly as the junk I put on there. So the ones I put on were meant for 2,000 pound overload, and they were adjustable, so you can see kind of the deal of them, and they were fine. I mean, they did help, but not enough. And these are 3,000 pound. Like, look at the size of these things. Twice as, well, a third longer, double as thick, and they only kind of go on one way. Very simple. There's two different ways to install them, whether you use this little puck or you buy a little mount. I didn't buy the mount, but I'm thinking what I might do is just cut the springs and I can use this as a mount. We'll see if that works. But so at the end of the day, I think the wheel lift, probably about 1,000 pounds. And I have it installed properly, but it can only go so high based on the lower section of the frame, which is what it hits, unless you box the frame, raise it up, mount it inside the frame, which you can do. And some guys have. This is an older model. I think in the newer ones, they've since changed it. The real issue we run into is you see the hydraulic lines. They curve through, and that's a little spring-loaded arm. Well, as it goes down, it becomes the lowest point, and sometimes it drags, which again isn't really the end of the world. I mean, I guess unless we really snag the hydraulic line. So also the later models address that, and I might do it myself. They just have the cable kind of go through a couple eyelets and it just kind of retracts on itself and holds itself up. So there's some stuff we can modify. Honestly, for how much I use it, it's not really that big of a deal, but this will add, I mean, at least 1,500 pounds more than this, and it should tow just fine. Now, I had that heavy 3/4 ton on there. We weren't on the bump stops. It wasn't dragging, but you just can't have enough spring when you're doing a tow truck, right? That little Camaro does nothing. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these on. They're very simple. They literally have a couple eyelets. You put this over the spring on each side. The center just kind of rides, you know, either on this little piece here or whatnot, and that's kind of it. There's a few different options for preload. We will try and put it, well, I'm thinking lots, as much as I can probably get out of it. We may need a clamp, and this thing will be a little rock solid to drive, but honestly, we have 1,000 pounds of gear on the back of it, and if we ever fill it up with stuff, I mean, it's a one-ton, it's a workhorse. So I'll get after this, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so just to show you, these are the old helpers I took off. They're just like little whatever. These are the ones going on, so they're twice as thick, way longer. The hardware on them's just ginormous. So yeah, this is the way to go. Buy once, cry once. Maybe next time I'll use my own advice instead of screwing around, but yeah. We got her on. Just kind of goes on top. I have it in the second hole for preload. Yeah, that's a bunch more spring. I have high hopes. So that one's done. Wheels going back on. Take the other side off real quick and we're done. well, the truck's in, and I'm actually just gonna let it run for a little bit here. Let it warm up a little bit. Hot oil changes, that's the plan, right? Hopefully it will run. Over here, we got that 57 Chevrolet. It kind of bounced a little bit against the lift, but whatever, it's fine. That thing rides how it used to ride before there was any weight in the back, just stiff with the lift on it, and then I handled this thing much nicer. I mean, it definitely held it up a couple more inches. When I took a tape to the side, it sits 1 inch higher unloaded than it did before unloaded, so I think it's as good as we're gonna get, and yeah. So we'll let this thing kind of, well, gotta melt all the water and junk like that was on the, or evaporate. From the truck, so let the heat go on this thing for a bit. I got to run and get some errands. I got to get some oil, filter, Lucas. Basically everything I need for that truck I got to go deal with. Go take a tow truck, make that happen, and then yeah, dial on that thing tonight a little bit while this thing kind of warms up, you know. If you're cold, they're cold. I'm excited to see this thing kind of get together. I think I have most of the parts we need to get her together. I'll go over that when I come back, actually. There's no point jumping the gun. All right, so back. Did the oil change to get like half special sauce, half 1540, and then I was going to rebuild the carburetor, and I was looking at for carb kits, and a brand new China carburetor was like $65. I was like, yeah, we'll just try that and see what happens. So if it's terrible, I'll put the other one back on, mess with it. I didn't buy a kit, but it did run, so we'll see. Oh, maybe I should open the door. Yeah, maybe that's someone else's problem. See how it runs, if it runs. It's carbureting. I don't have the choke hooked up.
Why?
What?
Why? Soap in the garage?
Yeah. Runs mint. Did hit the fan, we're fine. Well, there you go. We'll let it warm up. We'll give it a bit of a tune-up maybe. But this thing's out of here until we start driving it. It seems to run a little smoother at idle. That one needs a little bit of love. We'll keep her on the shelf. All right, Camaro back on tow truck backwards. Look at this thing sitting there. It's sitting crooked, like there's all the way on this side. Still level, so that's good. These big tires don't fit so hot. I just ratchet strap the steering wheel. Hopefully it'll be enough to keep it straight. So that's that. So truck out, Camaro in, Bobcat in, truck back in driveway. How hard can it be? This thing runs better, still need some tuning and all that stuff, but you know what, we're running out of light, and I'd like to get this thing moved before dark, before the snow, and I still gotta clean up in here because I'm a slob. Good old truck. Watch it not start. Cars are all moved. Oh, all the keys I got. Why are there 2 sets? So I've been going through the pile of parts because even though I haven't worked on this thing, I have been buying stuff for it. And like I said, down in Motor Vegas, we got all that trim. So there's a big pile at the front door. I store everything super organized. And I'm just going through it all. So I ended up spending up real money. I bought a Dan Chuck ignition switch and everything, so that'll be factory. But I need the little locking nut. I think I have one. Came with the Nomad and the pile of bits. Inside, it's not exactly organized, but close to. So I think what we're gonna do today, oh yeah, I forgot I put a tilt column in this thing. There's too many things going on. Today we're gonna do trim, because I wanna get looking cool, because that's all that really matters. I ordered actually another set of tires, big boys, 30.5 tall, 12.5 wide or something like that. And I have a different set of rims. So this thing has a set of like, rally style fronts, which I'm not a huge fan of, but then a friend of mine had a set of rally rears. So I bought those. So I think we'll run rallies, maybe paint them black, I was thinking. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. I really hate rallies on Tri-5s. Caps, no caps, no trim rings. Not happening. I'm thinking black might look kind of cool, eh? Danielle?
Yeah.
Or the silver, whatever they are, might be okay. So we have that. Now I spent a few bucks. Actually, everybody hated this. I spent a bunch of money on hood pins because I want to hood pin everything. I want to hood pin the fenders, top and bottom, and the hood down. Everyone thought that was crazy, but it's a race car, so I want to do. I have my go-to shifter. I bought, I don't know how many of these things. Like TCI, give me a deal, man. I'm gonna change to a floor mount e-brake instead of the typical umbrella pull deal because fender well headers. It was not gonna work with the factory one, so I gotta make this work. So that's why the interior's not in, because we gotta get that all figured out. And I actually bought new sill plates too, brand freaking new. We have new carpet in it, we have Ratty seats, and this is the first time ever I spent money on like a name brand wiring kit. This is the entry level from Painless, but I keep buying those Chinese ones and they're cheap, and every time I hate them and every time I buy them and every time people are like, why are you using them? And I'm like, I don't know. So I spent this. It was a few dollars more. Made in America. Honestly, these guys, they sponsor Power Tour, so I love Power Tour. So we're gonna go ahead and give them a little bit of money back. Up front, oh yeah, it's just stiff. Oh yeah, so we've got Tunnel Ram 5.3 LS. Hopefully it runs good. Oh, I gotta find a radiator for it, which I do have. I got different carburetors coming. I ordered a set of those FST deals, actually the same style as were on your car. We took to Georgia, Louisiana, wherever we went with it. But Mississippi, so I meant to say, but they're vacuum secondary, so they're a little more tame, and I did that because the double pumpers are awesome, but double pumpers you gotta run sideways because the carburetors are too long to fit in line, and linkage is a hassle, and I was lazy. So that's kind of the long gist of what we're gonna be doing over the next couple of videos is this thing. I'd really like to have it running and driving. I think that would be my goal. But first, I'm gonna go through all this trim.
Isn't that always the goal with any car, is to have it running and driving?
You know what, Danielle? I got some words for you when you hit that button. But I'm gonna put the trim on. So that's where we're gonna start. I want to put the side trim on, make it look cool just because I've been driving me nuts. We switched projects, I want to put the trim on so bad.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, John, I already thanked him earlier in the video. Put the trim on, then once we get that dialed, in the next few videos we can run the wiring, put in the e-brake, bolt the seats in, like it'll look like a car inside, missing half the parts. And then, oh, I thought the windshield was broken, but it was actually this thing. I was like, holy moly. And then, yeah, I got some back trim we can put on it.
Didn't you just put this windshield in?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna have a fit. This one fit good. And then I think I have tail lights. I think I have bumpers. I know I got a front bumper for sure. I think I have back bumper. I think I have all that stuff, and we can kind of, it'll look like a friggin' car. Then we got exhaust and all these other things, but it looks different in this light, eh? Maybe I'm just not used to it. It looks shittier. Maybe we just haven't worked on it. Well, the other Dungeon Dragon or Dungeon Garage is kind of dimmer lit, but let's pull this trim out and we'll see where it all goes and how we're going to attach it to make it look pretty. So we're just going through all the parts. Having never taken a hard top apart makes it easy to put back together. I was struggling to put this piece. I was struggling to put this piece in because I was pissed. I figured that end ended up right there. Doesn't. It just bottomed out against the wheel tub. But
Bottomed out where it's supposed to fit.
yeah. But this piece is actually a lot bigger than I thought, so it'll be fine. This is held on with a couple little speed clips, so it's a little rusty, and there's supposed to be one there which is missing. So I think I have some speed clips next door, so I can get that on. I just want to kind of test fit everything. Now the big winner here are the flappers. So what happens is, you can see on this thing, there's a big gap there. Well, obviously that'll be fixed there. So the way these work is, it'll be in there. As you open the door, it pushes, I guess, against something. It pops up. And then when you close the door, it grabs and it will close. And it'll kind of give that appearance, kind of finishes off. These are notoriously stupid. People always bitch about fitting them. This one was on, like, the car had some roof damage, so she's a little, you know, spaghetti-o, but we'll fix it in the press. I think it'll be fine. Now the other thing is, I did a bunch of reading on this because everyone's like, these are awful, and the reason is the flapper, whatever, is flat. But if you look at the roof, it has a slight kind of bow to it, a curve to it. And if you, it's got, I don't want to say piano hinge, because that's not what it is. It's literally just one piece of metal in the other, and that's what kind of flips around. So if you screw this thing up, like you're going to screw it up, but from the factory, there was like no washers on the edge. I think there was one, and then two or something like that stacked up in the middle, because you want the flapper to be flat, but if you don't do that and screw it up, it'll put a slight curve in it, which will then bind up in there. So that's what we're going to try. That's what I've read, so you know it has to be true. And I guess there's some adjustment in it, but in all reality, it's not too bad. So we're just going to use some screws, and then I got a bunch of, I just have miscellaneous washers. There was probably some proper washer, but we'll use this with some oversized screws because that's what I have in stock, and it's Friday night.
Date night.
Date night. Okay, so that, how does this go?
You just told us.
Yeah, but I wasn't paying attention. I'll need a minute. We'll be right back. This is terrible. It's very, like, trying to get the washers all in. So I got some in there, but now it's hanging down, so I'm using my trim hammer to gingerly knock it up into place. This one actually had to go, I think, slip into this one too. That's the real issue with this now. I don't know any order of where anything goes. I think the front has to go up first because it's jammed into the A pillar. Oh, that's not happy. Okay, so maybe that's not how it's gonna go. I am winging it. Well, there we go. That seems like it's a little happier. Does it look fantastic on the outside?
That's great.
My screwdriver. Oh, I need, like, you know, kids have mittens with the
Strings.
I need that for screwdrivers.
You need that for every tool you own.
I know I look really buff, but that might be a little out of my weight range. That was a crazy noise. This is terrible. These ones went in cockeyed. I think that might be screwing me a little. Oh yeah, there we go. So doesn't want to fit. It's almost like it's miscellaneous trim, and it's on a car that's possibly all twisted up. It's been sitting forever without any of this stuff before. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
There you go. Oh, it straightened it right out.
Did it?
Fixed.
Fixed. Oh yeah, that's good now. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, see? You always start with the middle.
I was trying. The front wasn't fitting at all. Luckily, it doesn't need any washers in there. Well, I say that, but it might need 12 washers in there.
Just fill it with super glue or something.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, if this doesn't fit, I think I'll probably just put it where I think it should be and tack weld it into place or something.
That seems alright.
Well, you are the audience I'm trying to impress.
Well, I'm the audience that has to ride in it, so.
You mean, my arm's numb? Gets to ride in it.
That gets the privilege.
What a weird thing Chevy did here, like, hardtop. Like, let's do it for 3 years. This is terrible. Okay, all the screws are in there. I missed the one at the front, but do you think it'll just work?
Yeah.
Maybe the window has to go up a little more. I don't have the stop set on this. Oh, that would be the door handle.
I think the door's not high enough
The window.
to hit those tabs, see?
Well, I think the problem is, I think there's probably supposed to be one there, which is missing. Oh. Yeah. There's got to be something there to grab it. What in the...
Just manually do it.
Well, we want it done 100% right there, baby. Don't we? The problem...
See, now just close it.
Ah!
Honestly, from here it looks fine.
It needs a little adjustment. It definitely...
It will work.
It's jamming up here. Oh. You know why? It's because this is probably just sitting in there. Yeah. I guess that's supposed to wrap around. I'll have to look at some pictures. Like there's a gap here. But that's all the holes line up. Yeah, something's not right there. Oh, there we go. Hang on, I need my trim hammer again. What do you think happened there? Just a little stiff.
You have to unlock it.
You think John's watching with... He knows what he's getting into. Yeah. I gotta say, I never really looked at new burns, but obviously they overlap. So I'll just kind of carry on. I'll put some screws in this to hold it in. And ultimately, that sure does stiffen all the glass up a lot. Sweet. Okay, I'll bang some screws in this real quick, and then I'll see what I can make for this to fit. 2 screws is all it's going to get, maybe a little. I gotta say, it looks goofy. I thought these are all kind of one piece, so I guess they all just kind of fold together, and it is what it is. It does look way, way better though. Okay, I'll screw this together and see what happens. I think the door's just out of adjustment. Somebody should get in there. So I managed to get it all together. This is screwed in, a couple little screws.
How many fits did you have?
One medium and one small. This is stupid. The door here, I think it needs to be bent a little. This wing window doesn't fit at all, which actually all became apparent when I realized nothing was hooked up. You know, past Dan, he really screws over present Dan some days. So if the door also has to be adjusted, so maybe that's part of it, I should say, but this part, the pillar has to kind of go back and in, and that'll allow this to close better because it's got a little indentation go around that. What was that? So not twice. Oh, it's the door? A little bit of pressure. But, so we gotta get that taken care of. Otherwise, it worked out pretty decent. They flip, kinda. So that's pretty mint. Yeah, what else did I get going on? I think that's it. Oh, there's gotta be a rubber piece that goes in here, obviously, and I think the window's a little over-centered. But we gotta get a little, it's gotta just be a little slide in. So it has like a little C-channel. Looks like just like a wiper blade style. Put in there, so that must be available. Go to my Tri-5 guy, see if he has that, because then this thing will be like sealed mint. Wonder how it works when you put the windows down. Is that spring loaded? I wonder if it's supposed to lock. Because if you put the window down, it'll be up. Might do whatever. It actually kind of looks cool like that. It kind of follows the profile pretty good. Okay, so let's get set up on the flipper straightener, also known as a 20-ton press, and see if we can eyeball it. Mint. Looks good. Okay. So my thoughts are, what are my thoughts? I'll have to lift this all the way up, I guess. You know, for a camera girl, you could help out, hold all the heavy things. No?
My hands are full.
Uh-huh.
A camera and positive thoughts.
Right. Okay. So we got to reverse the smiley. You know, I should probably put a socket in there. I probably raised it too much now. You know, don't you just hate when the... Oh. Basically perfect. Okay. I think it'll just be fine. Hopefully the press is big enough. I had to panic buy this thing like 2 days before we went to cruising the coast because I wadded up a bearing, an axle bearing.
Right.
And my little 10-ton press, I bent the shit out of it trying to press a new bearing on. And it was Sunday, and I think I was leaving the next day even. So I went and bought this. It's not really...
That's working. I can see it.
It's kind of twisting it. I may need something to lie down on it. I think I might just go back to that little socket. That might be my best bet and just send it home. Get a longer one. Overdo it a little and back her up and see what happens. Know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, in all reality, it's can't really get any worse. Famous last words. Oh, is this gonna fit? Oh yeah. I need it like these I-beams to be further apart, I think. It's kind of doing some funny stuff there. definitely, I think we nailed it. I just gotta straighten this out. Grab a hammer.
It's not really a convenient place to box.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking earlier. Maybe I'll just know. I don't know what I need. Still has a bit of a funky wow in it. There's much we can do about that. Well, I guess we can put more pressure in a different spot. Oh, it's all kinds of twisted. How we can fix that? It's got like a whir. Well, I'll keep messing with this and see if we get anywhere with it. And otherwise, like Danny said, we'll just screw it on there and call it a day. So, we're gonna try Danielle's idea.
Why? Because she's smart and pretty.
It's a lot easier than trying to do it the right way. So, it's got this goofiness to it, but Danielle said if we just screw it all in, won't it just hold itself?
Right in the middle.
And I'm like, you're probably right. This one also, unfortunately, the piece that grabs the glass is broken. So we'll see if we can get in there and fix it. But you may just have to flip it every time you get in the car. Those are all good noises. Those are the noises of 1957 Chevy being built. Success, yes. Huh. Okay, well that's, I think about as in. Well, this one could go a little more. It's gonna go. She's a little snug. Right where it was kind of bent. But this side fits much better because this isn't all smacked to bits. Actually, you know what I didn't do is WD-40 that one. That's probably the problem. Definitely. She needs a little bit of lubrication, but yeah, this piece here is bust, unfortunately, so it's not gonna close itself. You'll have to, every time you get in, close the door, put the window down, flick that down, then roll the window back up. Okay. All right, man. Now it's gotta slide this. So I think this is how it goes. This piece goes in first, then you put that, then the window channel slides in there and in there. It's ridiculous. Just gonna grab if we. This door fits mint. Factory door to it. The other one's a hodgepodge. All right. I'm gonna lube that up, then we'll put the window track in. This is working out mint.
I thought I had to burp again, but I'm good.
And action. So.
Well, you'll just edit that out.
No, that's going in. So this has to go, but it's got this big piece that gets in the way of holding the trim in. So I think it has to slide in. And then this little crook here, looks like this is all glued in at one point too. We don't need that. Probably just for sound and wind noise. And it kind of fits up in this little section. Where's a WD? Oh.
I thought you didn't want to show them this. Oh gosh, here you go.
Oh, this one's got a piece of metal's kind of in the way. Well, we're just going to use this to lubricate the ride home for the weather strip. What?
The ride home.
See, look how easy that went with a little WD. Okay, so that's good. Now we just got to line up these screws, which, oh, it's got a long ways to go. Oh, right, we have to get it lined up in this, which is stupid. hard tops look cool, but assembly, if you're paying your hard top guy, I swear. Let me get started. Okay. Gentle. Nope. This is annoying. Clearly this has to go in here. Oh. I really, you know what I hate is when you're pushing and it slips and I'm gonna cut my phalange. I don't want to do. Okay, well. There we go. So go to like the dirt, kind of stops. And then just gotta line up a hole, which has actually a ways to go yet. Well, it's bottomed out. That means that's where it's gonna go. So now we'll just take our oversized screw with our undersized washer. I've lost the screwdriver again. Found it. We'll run this baby home.
It's the stairs.
Turn the camera off. Why are you out here?
You literally asked me to come out.
Regret. All right, after no aggravation later. Oh yeah, this window sucks.
Why does my side suck?
Well, it's the back. It's just stiff. I don't know why. As it's all coming back to me, I spent a bunch of time trying to lube this one up, but it just gets jammed. Oh, there's a stop. Huh. Gotta beat that with a hammer. Might be a little too stoppy. Okay. This door fits nice. Oh, except now it lubricated it, so it'll be easier to move, but it won't hold itself down. It doesn't have the little piece to hold it. Yeah. Looks kind of nice. The back, my lord, does that make a difference. So, again, John, thank you. And horsepower is everything? Is that what?
Everything horsepower.
Everything horsepower, man. So many people helped out supplying the trim on this. It was amazing. So yeah, we got that dialed together. It looks like a car. I'm motivated. So tomorrow, yeah, we gotta do hood pins. So I have a whole bunch. I kind of want to hood pin the trunk, but I'm not too sure. Where did I put all my hood pins? How do I lose things? Oh, here they are. So, do you think I should put it to a vote for the people or just start putting hood pins in? She gave a look like, screw you, internet. But, man, god damn, it looks good. I kind of want to tint all the windows out black like Newburn's car. But, so yeah, this thing originally had hood pins here. So I think I might do that. And then it had hood pins at the bottom. So I might do that. And then I was thinking we might as well put hood pins on the hood because I don't have a latch. I don't think I have a latch anyways. I think 57 is unique, so I don't have any of that. So maybe we'll do that next video, unless we put it to a vote. But really what we should do is start working on the inside. So now we can put the the wiring harness in. Oh yeah, this thing's a new gauge cluster. This thing's nice. Did I finish the brakes? Do you think they work? No, we never bled the brakes on this thing, I guess, eh? Yeah. So we gotta do brakes. But yeah, that's what we're gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna run the wiring harness. Next video, wiring harness in, e-brake in, seats in, bolted, sill plates on, hood pins on. We'll mess with the trunk. It might be pinned, or we might see if I can find a latch. I don't know what anything is there. And then, yeah, but it looks like a friggin' car. This door needs it. I was gonna spend a bunch of time making it kind of a little nicer, but I watched that video of Merlin, and he was showing his passenger door. I guess the car was hit so hard, he can barely open the door. I'm like, you know what? If you got to hold up a little bit and give her a bit of a, oh, well. It needs a little bit of love. Wow. It looks cool, though. Maybe tomorrow I'll swap the tires, too. Go put those rallies on, see what it looks like. Have a hot rod again. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you guys like to watch me suffer. Well, that was a video full of screwing around. And literally my entire life. Oh, yeah. Let's come together. Yeah, I want to get the interior done, then we can start putting all the trim on the back and stuff and make it look like a real 57 Chevrolet. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.